To you by Sheehan's Rustproofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, make your next move a power play with Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokerage Realty. First responders, veterans, doctors, nurses, teachers, and yes, Let's Go Blues Radio listeners get special rates. Visit strikewithmike.com or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com and score big today.
Have you subscribed to the LGB Minute podcast yet? It's a 5-minute weekly St. Louis Blues podcast hosted by Jeff Ponder that is released multiple times a week to fill the gap between Let's Go Blues Radio episodes. Subscribe today.
So awesome, so handsome, so smart, you'll agree. Kurt, Jeff, and Bill are on TV. It's radio on TV. Oh yeah, it's radio on TV.
From St. Louis, I am Jeff Ponder, and I will be joined by, for his crimes he will never pay, Mr. Bill Day. Kurt Price is still facing allegations. We're bringing you the often imitated, never duplicated Play Freebird, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. This is the 20th episode of season 15 and the 548th episode all time. It's Wednesday, February 18th, and we're coming to you live. Tonight, we discuss the Olympic Games. The Blues claimed a fan favorite son off waivers. All that and more on this bitch-tastic episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. So as I said, I will be joined by Mr. Bill Day, but he is having some technological differences. We've got in the chat already Mr. Baked Beaver. He says, hello, good sir. Hello, Mr. Baked Beaver. I hope you're well. I just got back from the beautiful state that the Baked Beaver resides in, Colorado. Played a little pond hockey out in Georgetown. That was an incredible experience. I have posted a bunch on my Instagram, so if you are interested in seeing what I saw, it was an incredible trip. I can't even begin to describe the beauty of pond hockey in the middle of the mountains. Bucket list thing for me. So that was very cool. Again, posted a lot of it on Insta. Actually, I think I posted all my pictures on Instagram. Eventually, I'll have some YouTube videos up. I did set up my GoPro while I was there. Actually, very bad luck with my GoPro, too, because I set it up on my helmet cam because I have one on my helmet. And the minute I put it on, I put the helmet on, and they've got like a loudspeaker because there was like 20 or 22 rinks. And the loudspeaker like, okay, start your games. And I went to just adjust my helmet, and I think my hand hit the camera, and it knocked the thing right off. So I thought, oh, that's a great way to start my first game. So that's exactly what happened. So then I had the idea of sticking it on the box because it's box hockey. It's 2 little slots at the end of the box that you try to put the puck in. I had the brilliant idea of putting it on there, which it was a brilliant idea later, but I was trying to adjust it and I snapped a piece of the equipment. So I had to use hockey tape and I had to tape it down, and it was it looked hilarious, but I did in the second day got footage of both of our games. So we do have some footage that I will be posting to my YouTube page, but yes, my GoPro definitely took a beating in Colorado, but it was well worth it. The trip itself was incredible. And again, just being there and seeing and yes, there was ice. And then Big Beaver says, I'm surprised they had ice. I will say it was a little scary when I first pulled up and I saw the lake. Basically, half of it was unfrozen, but the half that we played on, it was very frozen. No issues. Well, there's of course issues because it was pond hockey and you can't ever perfect a pond. There's going to be divots everywhere. I fell on my tailbone at one point. That one hurt. But overall, it was a very fun trip. And again, a very, very fun time playing some pond hockey out there. Big Beaver also asks, I love Georgetown. You see any bighorn up there? No, we did not. Trying to think of what we did see. I don't think we really saw any animals. I mean, Georgetown was pretty packed because it's a huge event. It's a tiny little town, and it's a quaint little town, but it was very cool and really enjoyed my time there. So I do think we will be going back next season. So Big Beaver, your buddy that almost joined us, let him know next season. I think we will definitely be back. So looking forward to that. And then Joe Schmo in the chat, everyone getting spoiled by the high level hockey. Don't get used to it. Yeah, we've only got a couple games left, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games left of high level hockey, and then the Blues come back. So definitely agree with you there, Joe Schmo. At the top of the show, before we get into any Blues talk, again, Bill will be joining me here in a little bit. Hopefully, he's having some technological differences. We are going to have a major show announcement next week. So make sure you tune in next week, whether it's live with us here or on the podcasted version. We are going to have an announcement at the top of the show. So we will be bringing that to you. We're still getting our ducks in a row on it, but it's a major announcement, and we'll be bringing that to you next week. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into beers of the episode. Official beer of episode number 548. I will probably ask Bill once he gets on what he's having, but you can see in my lovely rhythm and blues glass that I got last season that I love. I am drinking a very light beer. It's an American Pale Ale. It's one I've had on the show many times. One of my favorites, Citywide. It's just, of course, got that beautiful St. Louis Fleur de Lis. I got to ask that, what our flag was when I was in Colorado. And I said, yeah, it's the Fleur de Lis. And they're like, what? And I'm like, it's French. Oh, yeah. So Four Hands Brewing makes a very good Citywide and excellent. And hey, speaking of which, St. Louis City comes back this weekend. Citywide is my favorite beer to drink while I'm watching soccer. Is anybody else like that? You have like a beer that you really, really like while you're doing certain things. Like I've noticed that if I'm watching a soccer game, I want to drink a Citywide. When I'm watching a Blues game, it kind of varies, but I do like a lot of the sweeter stuff. So Blue Moon, or what's another good one? Oh my God, Mango Cart. That's the other one. That's the other one I like to drink, especially when I'm at games. When I'm at home, I drink a lot of pale ale, and then I've always talked about mowing in the summer. That's usually a summer shandy that I like to enjoy. So yeah, I have my my weird, and then when I watch Cardinals, it's Bud Select, just because you can't watch a Cardinals game and not drink a Bud, right? You kind of have to. I mean, I think it's law. Yeah. And when it comes to football, I don't know. I kind of switch it up with football, to be quite honest. I am seeing that Bill is very close to getting here, so I'm kind of wanting to wait to get into our first story here before Bill comes. But I do see him kind of searching around in our outline, so I do think he will be joining me here in a minute. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get to some comments. He says, I'll have to. He was in the transition to another job. Oh, your buddy. Yeah. This is from the Big Beaver talking about your buddy joining us for hockey next time. It was a lot of fun. It was just really cool. I played pond hockey before, but never. And I've done the pond hockey, the Steinberg Classic out here in St. Louis. And that's a really cool event. Don't get me wrong. I loved that. But just something about being in the mountains. It snowed during our second game. We probably got about 3.5 inches in a half-hour game, and it was awful but incredible. There's literally one point where I'm skating up with the puck, and I'm like, do I still have it? And I stopped, and I started messing around because there was so much snow hitting the ground, and I didn't. And so the other team even came up, and they all started wiping away snow. We couldn't find the puck. I lost it. And so finally one of the guys goes, here it is. And he let me take it again. And it was nuts. It was absolutely crazy. The second day we had a lot of sunshine. That was awesome for our third game. And then the game at the end of the day for me, which was I think we played at like 6:00. So it was dark. It was kind of cool playing in the dark in the snow, but obviously they've got lights up and everything, but it was still very difficult to see the puck in one end of the rink because they kind of had one light for each rink. And so like there's one end where it was just hard to see, but you can still make it out. It still worked. And it didn't matter because we were terrible. So, it didn't really matter what happened, but it was such a good time. And I will be going back. That was an incredible tournament. So again, I will be having some of that video up as well. Divide by Zero says, what is the word in St. Louis? Are we going to have an active deadline when the season resumes next week? We will talk about that. But I do have a friend joining me now, Mr. Coming at you from an odd angle.
Yeah.
Bill Day has joined. Hey, Bill.
Hey. Yeah. Sorry. I'm having technological differences this evening. So
I'm glad we make the same jokes. I've already said that.
Well, I'm just borrowing. I'm borrowing from you. So
yes.
Yeah. So it's temporary. I'm working on rebooting the system, so you'll get my normal angle and don't have to look up my nose the entire episode.
You have trimmed those nose hairs since last night, so it looks good.
Yeah, I have to do it every day. It's some guys get 5 o'clock shadow. I got 6 a.m. nose hair.
You get the Kraken tentacles. That's what you get.
Yes. It's like the Guinness Book of World Records when they show the Punjabis that never trim them.
I'm not going to say who, but I have a friend that when we were first going out, in our like early 20s, and he one time asked me, man, like why I can never get girls to talk to me at the bars. Why is that? And just honest Jeff just came out because I had a couple drinks in me. And I just go, well, you could start with shaving your nose hairs off or trimming your nose hairs is what I said. And he goes, are they that bad? And then he like runs into the bathroom and comes out. Oh my God, you're right. And I was like, dude, I'm really sorry. I should have said that much more eloquently. But there you go.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, we all have those moments
Yep.
of drunk honesty.
Yes.
But hey, at the end of the day, you probably got them laid.
Yes, I did a couple years later, so it worked out. It took a while. It took a while to trim back those nose hairs. It took him a couple of years. So I see. Are you wearing a Team Canada jersey, sir? Look at that.
Guilty.
Nice.
Yes.
Is there a name on the back?
No. This is actually I had to steal this from Julie. So
nice.
I gifted this to her back in 2004. This is the original World Cup of Hockey jersey. And I gifted this to her and subsequently took it with me to Columbus to see the World Cup of Hockey prelim game that was there. Kurt and I have told many a story from that trip, including his brother almost getting his ass kicked by Hal Gill.
Yes.
And that kind of things.
Yep. No, we've heard those stories, but no, hey, we actually did not coordinate. I was thinking about wearing my Canada Binnington jersey, but I thought, you know what, I'll sport the good US of A today, and so how about that? We're sporting the two big countries in this tournament that we all want to see in the gold medal game. So I kind of like that. It's a good call. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna switch over to the PC now. So.
Okay, well, I will go ahead and
just vamp.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I will vamp. It is me again. Hello, folks. Look at me. Don't I look great? We have got Bill Day coming back. Well, there he is. looking great. I don't know if he can hear me. Wait, I'm going to bet he can hear me right. Hang on, right now he can hear me. Right?
I can.
Yes. Make sure that your mic is the one that we are hearing you out of. It might be your computer. So
Tis the
yes.
webcam.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I
How's
thought.
that?
Oh my God. That was so sultry.
The dulcet
Good to hear.
sounds.
Good to hear you, sir. So I did say last night, or I did tell you a little bit last night about, I'm sure, the tournament. I mentioned the Colorado tournament I was in. And yeah, I want to say Big Beaver here. The setting is perfect there, talking about Georgetown, Colorado, mountains on both sides. Weather is relatively mild. So apparently that was the biggest snowfall they've had all year while we were there. So a lot of the locals kept coming up to us and going, you guys need to come back more because this is the most snow we've had. I mean, it was crazy to be there in February and not see any snow on the mountains. It was, they're having record lows this year. So that's very unfortunate.
Yeah,
but still beautiful.
Yeah, Goldie was telling me a little bit about the environment and just how it was much worse than the first Winter Classic with the snowy shootout Crosby over Conklin.
Yes.
Just how you didn't know if the puck was on your stick. There was so much snow on the ground on day one. So sounds like an idyllic experience.
Yes, I was just saying though that the game that it did snow for us, it was awful. I hated playing in it. It was awesome when we were sitting there watching other teams play and like, oh my God, this is a perfect backdrop. This is so cool. But then you get out there with all the snow, and as I said earlier, like I literally was skating the puck up and I didn't know if I had it anymore. It just disappeared because it was covered with snow. So it was very difficult to complete any passes, stick handle. I did not enjoy the snow falling as I was playing, but every other moment that it was falling, it was very cool.
Yeah, I hopefully one of these years I will be able to make it out there because that sounds like a great experience.
I do think we are going to try to make it a yearly thing, so we will see because that was so cool. Such a cool thing to witness. Ken Morris over in the YouTube chat. Jeff, I enjoyed your Facebook photos of your outdoor shinny in Colorado. That's not really shinny, is it? Is that what does Canadians call pond hockey shinny?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that. When I hear shinny, I think of down on the knees and playing with the little mini sticks. Like that's what I consider shinny. Huh. I didn't know that. Interesting.
That is probably an American bastardization.
It probably is. And I am wearing an American jersey, so it makes sense. Ken Morris also said of my photos, he said it kind of wanted me to, it made me want to lace up the blades and skate on a frozen pond in Nova Scotia. Yeah, I hear you. I get that. It's funny because, when it was freezing here, the guys I went with, we all were texting each other. We're like, hey, we should go out and get some practice on the pond. And I'm like, hell no. We're going to get plenty of pond hockey when we're out in Colorado. I'm good. As much as I love pond hockey, being out there in the elements, I don't want to do it all the time. So, and plus we got like 10 inches of snow at that point. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to have to clear that off the ice the whole time. So
yeah, that's I think this was the first year we've had temperatures cold enough, long enough to comfortably skate on any local pond, but there was just too much snow. And yeah, that's my Kurt's cousin Jeff. Probably 12 years ago, we skated on the lake behind his house, and he kind of brought it up this year, and I didn't even respond because I'm not shoveling. Like, no, I guess I could have brought the snowblower. I do own a snowblower. Could have brought that over there. But yeah, much rather stay inside and be warm.
Yep, agree. Well, let's get into some Blues talk. There is actually some Blues news since our last show, as again we took last week off. The Blues did pick up Jack Finley off waivers from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Finley is 23. He's dressed in 22 games for the Lightning this season. He has 2 goals and 3 points with 21 penalty minutes. He is a large man. He is 6'6", 227 pounds. He's tallied 3 points in 3 games with the AHL's Syracuse Crunch. Overall, he's tallied 84 points and 102 penalty minutes in 164 career AHL regular season games. He was originally drafted by the Lightning in the second round at 57th overall of the 2020 draft. And of course, he is the son of former Blues defenseman Jeff Finley, who wore the blue note from 1998 to 2004. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Jack, Bill. He is a much larger version, but looks exactly like his father.
Yeah. He played in the game the Blues played in Tampa, and they got a close up of him in that game. And I'm like, yep, that's definitely Jeff Finley's kid.
Yep.
But yeah, he's a lot bigger. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, interested to see if he gets some time with the big club, if he wears his dad's old number.
He is.
Is he?
I've heard that he is officially going to wear 37, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, love that.
I like that. So for those of you who may not have been around at the time, if you're young or maybe you just have dementia and don't remember, looking at you, Ken. Sorry, bad joke. We love you, Ken. I'm just kidding. No, I just do. He was not liked. He was not liked at all. He was the whipping boy of the Blues in the late 90s, early 2000s. I will admit, and Bill, feel free to disagree with me, I never fully understood why. I didn't think he was that bad of a defenseman. They even had him on the top pairing with Pronger every now and then, which is maybe where some of that hate comes from, because you kind of expect an elite defenseman to play with your captain. But at the same time, it's like they just wanted a guy who could be reliable defensively. And I feel like Finley was that. I don't think he was a bad defenseman at all. So I'm excited to kind of see him probably attending some more Blues games and coming back and being remembered as hopefully fans will give him a warm welcome. I would think they would. But yeah, always kind of shocked me to see the vitriol toward Jeff Finley.
Yeah, it was kind of before the era when you had like the whole top 4 defensemen, right? The Blues had the two of the 5 best defensemen in the league in Pronger and McInnes during that time frame, right? So it's a good step down to Jeff Finley, but I always thought he was serviceable, and he was a good 5th, 6th guy who could play up a little bit, but he probably did get some of that hatred from being paired with Pronger. But look, Bear Jackman got a Calder Trophy because he was playing with Al McInnes. Maybe they thought that they could get Jeff Finley a Norris Trophy by playing with Chris Pronger. I don't know.
Seasoned veteran Jeff Finley, who played all across the NHL. Yes, he's going to win the Norris because he plays with Pronger.
Yeah, no,
love that idea.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't Rich Pilon bad.
No.
But yeah, he did take a lot of stank during that time.
I will say I'm a little okay. So with Jack Finley, his son, I'm a little concerned this is going to be another Logan Brown situation, because you remember when we got him and it was in a trade for Curtis Sanford, which we were all happy about at the time. It was kind of let's see if he can, I don't want to say follow his father's footsteps, obviously different positions, but kind of figure it out, in St. Louis, a town that he was familiar with. And obviously Jack is familiar with St. Louis as well. So, but you're looking at the same kind of thing here. He's a forward. He's a massive man. His dad played here. I have heard he is a little bit on the slower side of speed. So it does make me a little worried we're going to get Logan Brown 2.0. But again, I've always said I have no problem with waiver claims, because unless you're picking up a guy that's like making $8 million, which Jack Finley is not, I think this is a good, solid move. Maybe he comes here and he either rejuvenates the Blues or he plays great and stays in the lineup. And if he doesn't work out, guess what? Put him back on waivers. Tampa Bay probably claims him again. So That to me is just a right move. We've seen waivers work out for the Blues already this season with Bergeron. So I do think this is a good move by Armstrong. Just see what you can get out of Jack Finley.
Yeah, not saying that he's the same quality of player as Bergeron or Jacob Vrana, who was another great waiver pickup.
Vrana was a trade. That was
That's what I'm thinking. Kasperi Kapanen, yeah. Who
his first when he got here, he was great
for 6 games or whatever, and so that was a bit of magic. To me, what I think it is getting an NHL body for the probable fire sale to come.
Yes. Yep. I agree. And a name that older fans can kind of attach to. I think it's one of those things where it's, hey, remember Jeff Finley? Maybe you didn't like him, but maybe you'll love his son. I just don't think it's in terms of PR. I think it's a decent because he's a local kid too. So I think it's a smart move. And I also like you said, I think, you're going to have NHL bodies at some point, because I do think we are going to see a fair amount of moves here from the Blues.
Yeah. Maybe we can convince Phil McRae to leave his hockey school out at Centene, and Logan Brown to come back and have an all kids, kids line. And that would be an interesting thing. But
I think you forgot, you didn't say his full title. He is friend of the show, Phil McRae.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget that. Yeah.
He says that all the time. Every time I've seen him, he's just like, "Hi, friend of Let's Go Blues Radio, Phil McRae." And I'm like, I know who you are, man. I'm the one that interviewed you.
It's like in the top 5 of his curriculum vitae for his hockey school.
Exactly. Ken Morris says, if Jack Finley doesn't pan out, he can be a sub for Kurt on your podcast. There you go. What? Is this true? Winning Unlimited says Jinsey Rose dropped a song on iTunes and Spotify. She shoots, she scores. Is that true? Speaking of local hockey players, that's incredible. I might have to check that out. All right. Well, Bill, real quick, let's go ahead and close out the first segment with already did my beer of the episode. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking from Perennial Artisan Ales, Take 10. It's an imperial stout that's I guess double a Take 5. It's peanuts, chocolate, pretzels. It's pretty damn good. And
okay,
with as sleep deprived as I am from getting home late from hockey and getting up early for work, 11.5% is kicking my butt.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I hear you. Well, we will get into talking about the Olympics here in a little bit. But first, we're going to hear from our amazing sponsors and, of course, the upcoming hit show that is not even a hit yet, because it can't be, because nobody's heard it, the podcast. We will be right back with more to come on Let's Go Blues Radio.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What are you doing? Have you not subscribed to the Let's Go Blues Minute yet? Do it wherever you get podcasts. It provides a daily look into the St. Louis Blues, filling the gap between Let's Go Blues radio shows. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Friendster. I don't care. Just subscribe and get fresh blues content daily. Do it. Now.
Every hockey team needs that clutch player who knows when to pass, when to shoot, and when to take charge. In real estate, that superstar is Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokerage Realty. Whether you're buying your first home or selling your current one, Mike skates circles around the competition with his knowledge, hustle, and down-to-earth approach. And here's the real zone ability. If you're a first responder, veteran, doctor, nurse, teacher, or even just a loyal Let's Go Blues radio listener, you'll score special rates when you work with Mike. Got questions? Fire them at him. He'll answer quicker than Bill Day's glove hand. Obstacles in your way? He'll plow through them harder than I would in a goal mouth scramble. And when it comes time to close, he'll put it in the back of the net faster than a Kurt Price shot from the slot. So don't just settle for an ordinary realtor. Get the MVP on your side. Visit strikewithmike.com or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com today. Mike Burgoyne, the real estate teammate you can always count on. Hey, it's Jeff. Do you like me? Okay, even if you don't, it's okay. It's okay. There's a new show coming out. Check it out. It's called The Podcast, Conversations That Go Nowhere. We are going to do our random generator. We are going to talk a random topic. All right, here we go. You ready?
You know, my mom and my dad wrote my biological code when they pooped me out of my mom's butt when I was a baby.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Al Gore create weather? I mean, that's possible.
I think he invented the internet, right?
He did. This podcast made possible by Al Gore. Weather conspiracies. Failing a driving test. Elevators. Forgetting why you walked into a room.
I don't know if you're Costco people or Sam's Club people, or if you're clubbers. I don't know if you go clubbing.
We go.
You go clubbing.
Cam, this whole show has actually just been a ploy. I've got some news I need to share with you.
You're my father from the future, aren't you?
Yes. My name is Dameron, actually.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
Bill, are you ready to show how technologically advanced we are?
Yes.
Check out, folks. We're not going to play the whole thing. We will give it a little listen here. She Shoots, She Scores by our friend of the show, Jinsey Rose. Here we go. And here we go. There it goes.
Put me in, it takes one spot to ignite. Watch how a woman reads an empire. Heard every note, still built the lead. Locked and loaded, we are set to lead. One little show, you came to see her. Came for a fight.
Let's get to the chorus.
She shoots, she scores, play for her, play for more. She shoots, she scores, she's built to endure. She shoots, she scores, she won't be ignored. She gave you war.
All right. Okay. I'll give it a full listen.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's got some catch to it. And
it does.
It's a perfect time to drop a song, you know, with them featuring some of the singing that's happened on the bench.
Yeah.
During, you know, the games. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, man. Me too. I will definitely give that a full listen later. But thank you, Winning Unlimited, for bringing that to our attention. Very cool. Hockey music, man. I love it. I mean, the Zambonis, we had Dave Schneider on over the summer. Just anything that mixes my loves like that, I'm all for. Pizza and Dr. Pepper is one of my favorite meals I could possibly ever have. Hockey and music. Is there anything better?
Yes. So yeah, what's your all-time favorite hockey music song?
It's got to be Brass Bonanza, right?
That's dumb.
Hockey music? Brass Bonanza, right? Does that count? That counts, right?
It's not hockey specific. I'm talking hockey in the lyrics.
Okay. I Want to Drive a Zamboni by the Gear Daddies.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite.
That's pretty damn good.
Oh, I don't know though. I mean, good old hockey game. I mean, that's up there too.
Yeah,
that's a
Stomp
great
and
one.
Tom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come at you with Hit Somebody, Warren Zevon.
Oh, it's a good one. What's the Black and Gold? The Dropkick Murphys one? That one's good too.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I love the Dropkick Murphys. I align very well with their politics, but the Boston sports centricity, just that goes a little too overboard for me.
So I will admit that when I first heard that song, I don't remember what game it was on, but it was on like NHL Hits or something. And before I like learned the words, I'm like, this song's awesome. And because it was about like, black and gold, never quit. And I just like never really put two and two together. And then I learned about Dropkick Murphys, and I'm like, wait, black and gold. Oh man, so but I did like that song before I realized it was a Bruins song. So that's why I think I can get away with that.
My all-time favorite Murphy song is "Kiss Me, I'm Shitface."
Oh, such a good one. Oh yeah.
That's back when all my Kurt and all our friends were doing bachelor parties. That was in the rotation for playlists at every party. So
that's awesome. For state of Massachusetts is a good one. I like that one a lot too. But they're all good.
Yeah. And then Joe
ahead.
Schmo asked, Warren Zevon has a hockey song. Yes, he has a hockey song called "Hit Somebody," and it features none other than David Letterman going way over the top as the asshole fan yelling "Hit somebody." It's awesome.
That's amazing. Very cool. And then we've got from Winning Unlimited, Fitting Jinsey plays for the Sirens. I hope she scores and they play her song at MSG. That would be cool. That's actually a good idea. Winning Unlimited, whenever she scores, play that song make it the victory song for the Sirens. That'd be pretty sweet too. I would love that. And Joe Schmo asks, will the Pond Pod be on YouTube? Yes, it'll be all over. It'll be on. They're probably, I don't know. I'm still debating the whole. It's not going to be live. I'll tell you that much. That's not going to happen. But in terms of YouTube video, I don't know yet, but it will be on YouTube Music and all that. So yes, you will be able to get it on YouTube, but again, not sure on the whole video aspect. We'll kind of see how it goes. But excited. I am targeting March for the first release of that. And again, as I said last week, excited to have a fairly big guest on for the first episode. So looking forward to that. But enough about me. Let's talk some Olympic hockey. What a day today, Bill.
Ugh,
Holy cow.
Man.
I will say, so I did not catch any of the Slovakia game. I couldn't. I tried. I was like, I can try to watch it before the show tonight, but I just never got the time. But I did watch all of the Canada-Czech game and all of the U.S. and Sweden game and a good amount of the Finland and Switzerland game.
Mm-hmm.
And all three of the ones I saw went to overtime. And I'll say, Bill, I mean, I know you could make a case for any three of those games. That Canada-Czechia game, that was one of my favorite games of all time. I was sitting there watching it like, this is insane. Like the back and forth, how good the goalies played, especially no offense to Binnington. I thought Markstrom was unbelievable. Just the chances were just.
Czechia was Dostal.
Okay,
yeah,
my bad. Dostal. As good as Dostal was, and then I just thought overall just a great game. And I'm like, man, this is in the books for me as one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I did not get to watch any of the early games. Just had too much going on with work, and I did try to tune in for the ends of those games, and I literally turned both the Finland game and the Canada game on just as the game-winning goals were going in. So,
oh man,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I just got it pulled up on my the Canada one. Got it pulled up on my phone while I was taking lunch, and like Marner, splitting the defense and throwing that backhander. To me that's a save that Dostal should make, but
what a play though to go through three. So
yeah,
for guys, me, my first thought was you got to collapse in on the guy, but with it being Mitch Marner, you think the minute they're going to collapse, he's going to slide it over to someone and they'll have an empty net. Mm-hmm. So I kind of get why they played him the way they did. And like you said, maybe Dostal needs to make that save. But to me, that's a world-class play. That was, holy cow, what a move.
Right. Total, 1 versus 3. You can't ask for a better way to end a game. Juxtapose that with the end of the Finland game, where Switzerland just gave up the middle, right?
Yeah, they did.
It was I don't know who the player was that busted the coverage. Suter was on the ice, but it was not his guy. He was coming off the bench, and Lehkonen was not his guy. But yeah, they should not have allowed Lehkonen to split straight up the middle. 14 on defense for Switzerland was the farthest back. It was the guy in between he and Suter, and I never caught who it was, but it was not a good back check, and bad gap control by 14. Hell of a shot though. Lehkonen, bar down. That God, I was so mad when Montreal gave him up a few years ago. But
Dean Kukan,
the who he was their player of the game earlier in had the earlier game winning goal. So, and I think he's 18 and draft eligible this year. There's some huge defenseman in this tournament that.
He is 32, so
he's
it's not
32,
him.
so it's not him. Yeah.
I
don't know. With it being afternoon, I haven't got to see anything but like later highlights, except for the stuff that was on the weekend.
Did you subscribe to Peacock for the Olympics?
Oh, I am a perpetual subscriber to Peacock because of Premier League. So,
of course, duh. I definitely I did pick up Peacock just for. Because I love to watch replays. Like, even when there's not hockey, I'll turn on like the bobsled replay, and I'll just kind of sit there while I'm doing work on my computer or folding clothes or whatever. It is Olympics all the time in my house when it's Olympic time. So my wife prefers the summer, but obviously I'm a big winter guy. I love summer too, but for me, it's all about the cold sports. I love them. Do you play Connections on New York Times?
Yes.
So yesterday was all sorry to spoil it if anybody hasn't played it yet live, but yesterday was all winter sports, and I think I got that in about a minute and a half, like the quickest I've ever finished it.
Yeah. So I blew a streak this week by losing for the first time in a long time. Usually I blow my streaks by just forgetting to play. Usually because we're playing hockey. But yeah, no, I didn't catch that one. But yeah, for me, most of the time, like I will always have curling on. There's something beautiful about the game. Just it's like chess on ice, and I really enjoy watching it. Always have it on. Couldn't tell you really who's in contention at this point, but yeah, it's always on in the background. And the other thing that I always try to seek out is biathlon, because I like the idea of a sniper competition, right? That's really what that comes down to. And I don't know why the Finns don't dominate that sport, because that's like Cold War and war drama. That's
pretty sure the Finnish actually walk around on skis all year round. So it's kind of surprising.
The Norwegians certainly do. I mean, they're going to run away with the medal count.
Yep. I've just been taking it in. I mean, and I'm lucky that the guys that I was rooming with in Colorado, we just had Olympics on all the time. Like, it was funny because we were getting ready to go out one night, and I was getting ready to turn off the TV, and one of my teammates, Dalton, you know my teammates, Dalton looks at me and goes, "What are you doing?"
Met the guy.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna turn the TV off. He's like, "We're not leaving for like 2 more minutes. Leave it on." And I'm like, "We're literally gonna be walking out the door in like a minute and a half." And he's like, "Well, then turn it off in a minute and a half." And it's like, I just love that, like, when the Olympics come around, it is like that's all people like us want to do, is just Like I was even thinking today, before the U.S. game, I had time. I hadn't taken a lunch break yet, so I thought, oh, I'll go on a run. As I'm getting ready to go on a run, I'm like, or you could turn on the Finland-Switzerland game and sit here and eat Doritos. And it's like, I made myself get up and go on a run, but I definitely considered, hey, just lounge out on the couch until the U.S. game's over. Like, don't do anything. So it's just this is such a fun time of the year, and that's why for the last 10 years, or I guess 12 years, I've been annoyed with the NHL because this is to me. I mean, who watched today's guy? I remember complaining last Olympic that the NHL was participating in when we were still doing the show.
So cheap.
I remember getting on here and talking about how there was some article. I think it was Ken. I don't want to say for sure. I think it was Ken Campbell on the Hockey News who posted that. Who actually wants NHL players in the Olympics? And it was such a puff piece. It was clear there was some money handed to him saying, hey, let's start this conversation of getting NHL players out of the Olympics. Because I'm like, who watched today's games and said, yeah, I'd rather be watching Blue Jackets and Sabres tonight?
Right.
No way. This was high drama all day and night.
Yeah, I mean, today could have been the single greatest day of hockey outcomes, right? Had Slovakia not just completely dominated Philip Grubauer and the German side, I mean, if that game had gone to, been a 1-goal differential at the end of the game, I think we would say hands down this was the greatest day of men's hockey ever, right? The most talented teams that have ever been assembled are playing in super tight games. And I mean, I regret that I couldn't take today off to enjoy every second of all of those games. Why couldn't it have been 1 week? 1 week later, and I will be off.
I didn't realize you were off next week. That's a shame. So,
well, next Wednesday for the morning of my the pondering of my mortality, shall we say?
That's kind of eerie, but okay.
I turned 50 next Wednesday.
God, so. There it is. Oh. Yeah. Man, you not told. What are we doing? Let's do something, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can come up with some kind of plan.
All right,
for a a dudes thing. But yeah,
I'm down. I'm in. That sounds fun. But yeah, I mean, today was absolutely incredible. The Slovakia-Germany game, which I don't know how much of it you saw. I literally have seen. I think I saw a couple highlights in the middle of the U.S. game.
I went back tonight and watched all of the highlight versions of all of the games from today.
Okay. So I did not do that. So good for you. But I do know that a certain Slovakian Blues forward is having an excellent Olympic. So I actually was messaging you. I watched the first game last Wednesday when they were playing Sweden, and Slavkovsky, who's your boy over in Montreal, and who I am also falling in love with at this point. Love the way that guy plays the game. Yeah, he's so good. He's just the way that he gets the puck off his stick so quickly. It's so impressive. And he's like kind of, I don't want to make the comparison because it's unfair, but kind of reminds me in the way of like Ovechkin, where he's always in the right position to get a shot off. And that kid has got a very bright future in the NHL. But and everyone's been talking about him, he's been so good. Dalibor Dvorsky, 3 goals, 3 assists in 4 games.
And
he looks very good.
Dominant in the faceoff shot, right?
Yes.
He has been like, Shen was so right to say you're a natural center, you're playing center. I'm going to the wing, right?
Yep.
Shen recognizes the talent, and good on him, because Dvorsky is showing the world that he is an elite center, or destined to be an elite center. We can't say elite because we get into the whole Robert Thomas debate, and we have to wait until that's over. So
yeah, it's been incredible seeing him play. I've watched most of Slovakia's games just because I want to watch him. I want to see what he looks like on this. Obviously, the NHL's the biggest stage normally, but in the Olympics, this is the grand stage. This is, okay, you're literally playing against the best in the world, and he looks right at home. And that is, we talk about all season, we've talked about how the Blues are kind of missing that star power. And I know a lot of people, and again, I'm not saying you need to take sides here, but I've said since we saw both these players come up last season, I think Dvorsky has the higher end potential over Jimmy Snuggerud. And again, you want to disagree with me, that's fine. I don't care. As long as one of them hits, I'm happy. But I really think Dvorsky is a guy that could be a top line, solid center in the NHL. And I do think he will dethrone Robert Thomas at some point. Maybe not next season, maybe not the season after, but I do think Dalibor Dvorsky is a true NHL talent, and seeing him just basically have the time of his life right now is just a lot of fun to watch as a Blues fan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the tournament's not over. They are the Cinderella team right now, so it'll be interesting to see. Of course, it will be a big upset if they beat USA, and I mean it's going to be a very hard thing to do. But it's not like the US never came from nowhere to beat a certain Soviet team. Not really making comparisons there, but I'm really interested to see how good he comes out of this tournament and playing. Like, how much confidence does he have, and how will that translate back onto the NHL ice when the season resumes?
Yep.
Because
and how about that goal he scored against Sweden in the final preliminary game? Because he scored with under a minute left, and I don't know. I have no idea if they were talking on the bench like, "Hey guys, we got to get a goal here, because if we get a goal, we take first in our pool." So I don't know if that was a conversation, but for me, for him to score on that power play with, was it like 40 seconds left? I mean, that is what thrust Slovakia. Yes, they lost that game, but that thrust them into finishing in the top spot, which you're in a division with Sweden and Finland, and you're taking the top spot as Slovakia. And how many NHL players they say are on their roster? 7 or 9 or something?
Right.
That's incredible. And it's in a large part is because of the young NHL talent that's on that team.
Right. It's they've got some older guys that are, leading by example. But at the end of the game, they kind of gave the empty net goal today to Tatar, and it was like a gesture goal, right? Give it to the captain and let him score, because the kids have been doing the rest. But yeah, when Slovakia lost that game, they panned to Slavkovsky, and he's like pumping his fist like they just won the gold medal, right? That was pretty awesome.
Very cool.
To know, like, they knew. I don't know, like you said, if they were talking on the bench, but they knew the significance of that moment, and Dvorsky stepped up.
Bill you froze there for a minute.
You froze. I didn't freeze.
Well, you froze.
Oh,
so
damn it.
I win. Yeah, it was crazy. So let's talk a little bit about, we had just kind of an open discussion here, but for me, I thought Philip Broberg has looked pretty good. I thought in his first game, who was their first game against? He had a bad play that led to a goal, where the guy just kind of beat him one-on-one, came in on the goalie and scored. And so that was kind of the one negative spot with Broberg, but overall, he had 1 assist in the elimination game. against Latvia yesterday. And I know today, he didn't seem like he was out there that much. Did you notice Broberg a lot in today's game against the U.S.?
No, did not.
I'm going to pull up.
I honestly, I do not recall hearing his name called.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up right now and take a look. Because,
I
was thinking that just a couple minutes ago. I was like, I don't really remember them talking about Broberg much.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, defense-wise, the names that I heard and the players I saw the most were Carlson and Forsling. I was going to say Nick Yarmelson, because to me, Nick Yarmelson and Forsling are the same player. He just changed his name at some point and got 10 years younger.
Yep. So Broberg did play in 24:57. So
wow,
I did not notice him at all.
Right. That's his NHL average too, right?
Yeah.
Right around it.
So I mean, I guess he was out there more than I realized, but maybe that's a good thing. Sometimes you don't want your defenseman to be noticed.
Yeah. So when I went back and watched the replays of the games, of course, being the goalie, I was trying to pay attention to, the goalie battles and who are the better goalies. Honestly, I thought Markstrom had faced the more high danger chances and was the bigger difference maker in this game. And, that's why we didn't notice Broberg, because he had a goalie standing on his head behind him until, Quinn Hughes decided to end everything. But
Yep. So Team Switzerland, Pius Suter had a pretty nice tournament. Unfortunately, they did lose today to Finland, as we said, and that was a crazy game. They had I remember, so when I was watching the end of the Canada game, this game had already started, and Switzerland was up 2-0, and I was like, what? And yeah, Finland ended up coming back, winning 3-2 in overtime. But Suter had a pretty nice showing, I thought. I didn't watch a lot of Switzerland's games, I'll admit, but 2 goals and an assist over the tournament in 5 games, pretty good. I thought he looked pretty good in yesterday's elimination round. So and that's a guy that we can go back and forth on, I'm sure, but for me, I would actually like to see the Blues keep him.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's probably going to be getting some looks from teams, guys wanting some teams wanting center depth going into the playoffs. But for the Blues, I've liked him all season. I like him in the Olympics. I'd kind of like to see them hold on to him for next season and see if the Blues can turn the corner and come back to being more in playoff contention. I'd like to see what Suter could do for this team.
I'd like that too, but it really depends on what happens, I think, with Thomas and Shen. If one of those two guys has to get moved for Suter to be on this team, with Dvorsky emerging like he is.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, he was definitely much more noticeable. The few instances I got to see the Swiss in this tournament, like it took me till today to realize that Nico Hischier was actually on that Swiss team. Like he wasn't very noticeable. But Suter to me was like, he was playing his game, blocking shots, and scoring timely goals. He had a chance to end that game late, after Finland had come back to tie it. Or maybe it was before Finley got back in. He could have put the game to sleep, to bed, whatever. Like I said, this beer's kicking my butt a little bit, but
yep.
But he was awesome.
I agree. He was great. He played great, and it'll be interesting to see if he kind of comes out with some more fire here when the Blues return to the ice next week. All right, let's talk about Team Canada really quick. So we've got Ken Morris in the chat saying Binner is showing how well he can play when he has a good D in front of him. I will say, God, and it just goes to show it's not just Blues fans, although I think some of them were commenting were Blues fans. People that were saying, well, I mean, he gave up 3 goals on 21 shots today. That's not great. And I'm just, oh my God, stop just looking at the stats. Like, I thought when it came down to it, Binner showed up. He had a nice, and it wasn't really talked about much. He made a nice save, I thought, in overtime where he came out really far in his crease and challenged the shooter because he recognized he recognized that there wasn't a passing lane and he was just going to shoot. So he came out, cut off the angle, and I think Canada ended up going the other way on the play because he made a nice save on it. And then obviously the Natchez breakaway save in the third period was massive. And I'll say, man, on their go-ahead goal, well, first of all, you saw how many men were on the ice, right?
6, yeah.
At one point, they had 8. If you go back about 8 seconds before the goal was scored, they had 8 players on the ice. And did you see what the Czech coach said?
And after the game, yeah, that was, yeah.
Like, dude, be aware. For those that didn't see it, he basically complained about the officiating, saying Canada got away with everything. And, you know, it's hard to coach in games like that because the referees are letting Canada get away with everything. I'm just like, you literally scored with 6 players on your ice. And before that, you had 8 players on the ice and not one too many men penalty was called. So I don't want to hear it.
And weren't 2 of their goals power play goals, including the one with 6 on the ice, right? So
it was.
So yeah, that was definitely like, you know, him trying to take the heat off the players. But so the way you phrased that, I'm gonna assume you didn't read the Mark Lazarus piece that came out after that game. It's, you know, it's the perfect Lazarus piece because he got to take down the Blues while extolling Jordan Binnington, right? Talked about how awful he is with us, and not just bad, but historically bad, worst in the league in terms of stats. I forget which stat it was, but 86th, and there's a huge difference between him and number 85. And there are 86 goalies that played the NHL this year. So read that if you have a subscription to The Athletic. But if you want a more balanced piece, I love Laz for a Blackhawks writer. I think he's great. But if you want a more balanced, well, probably not balanced, but a more Canadian centric, go check out friend of the show Kevin Woodley on last week's Angle Radio podcast when they're debating who gets the net. They go on for a good 10 minutes. This is what I listened to on the way to the game last night. He goes on to a very detailed advanced statistical analysis of why Jordan Binnington is the right man for the job. And today proved him right. I agree. He's not the best when it comes to high danger chances, and the goals that were scored were fairly high danger. But he doesn't give up. Like, and Blues fans are probably gonna be like, "But wait, go back to that Anaheim game, that one goal that should never have gone on that got him yanked in the first period." He's great at low danger chances. He gives up the fewest of all the guys in the Olympics. So he's the guy that you want there, as the steady baseline, but then he also steps up, and that's what we saw today, right? The saves that you mentioned in the third period, he was brilliant.
Well, and I thought the Palat goal, Natchez, I said when they made that trade, when Colorado got Natchez for Rantanen and obviously other players involved too, but I was like, man, yes, it's a step down because Natchez is not Mikko Rantanen, but I'm like, it's not going to kill the Avalanche offense because that dude is such a smart player. He's always finding ways to create plays, not just shooting himself, but getting his line mates open. And I thought that play, because it looked like it was a 2-on-2, and then you had the trailer and Palat coming in, kind of sneaking in, really. And the fact that Natchez, and obviously you got to think there's some communication going on there, but the fact that Natchez, it almost looked like he never even looked back to see Palat. And he fed him a pass, just set it right up for him. And and Palat was right there to just one time the shot, beautiful shot to beat Binnington. And I did see people saying like, oh, come on, where's big save Binnington? I'm like, that is a world-class play. Like, that was such a smart play by Natchez and a great play by Palat. And of course, as I said, you have 6 Czech players on the ice at that time too, but still just a really good play by Czechia. And again, when Natchez has that breakaway later, that's game over against most goalies. That is a game over situation. Binnington waited him out, and I love the way Binnington he never makes the first move on shootouts or on the breakaway. He waits out players, and when they finally have no room, that's when he makes the save. And I love the way that he attacks, and he's so aware of the tendencies of the players that he's facing.
Yeah, and the Lazarus article, he had several quotes from Natchez on that breakaway save. And he said it was end of the shift. He thought his only chance really was to try to make a move. And Binnington read it perfectly. Like you said, doesn't make the first move, read it, got down, pushed to the right, made the save, smothered it. Vintage Binnington in the big game.
Yep. Okay, so speaking of vintage Binnington and vintage players, Colton Parayko, I have it in the notes here, Bill. I thought it was hilarious that in the Italy game, they won that one 10-2, and the only minus player for Canada was Colton Parayko. And I'm not saying this to pick on Parayko, but I don't know if you saw the goal that he was on the ice for. I cannot remember what the name of the Italian player was that scored, but it was a shot from pretty far out, and Binnington made the save. And I will say Binnington probably should have had the rebound, but the rebound did pop out in front. Colton Parayko is right there, doesn't get a stick on it, doesn't touch it. I don't think he even realized the puck was at his feet, and it bounces right out to another guy streaking in from the far side. He one-times it past Binnington. And that was one of the 2 goals that Binnington gave up in the preliminary round. So I just thought that was funny. I saw that, and I even saw someone on Instagram saying, like, what a Blues goal that was, because it was Binnington not covering his rebound and Parayko not realizing the puck was right at his feet. How many times have we seen that, especially this season?
Yeah, to me, I don't know. Now you're giving me flashbacks from our game last night.
Hey, what did you talk about last night's game? Hey, you know what? We didn't lose as bad as Italy did to Canada, so we can put that feather in our cap.
This is true. We got a couple more for and not as many against. No one has yet put 10 on me this year.
That's true.
Several teams have come close.
Yes, they have. And I'll say, too, if we're talking about our games last night, one of the biggest blunders of my hockey career last night.
Scratched yourself.
Literally healthy scratched myself because, so again, I mentioned I went to this Colorado tournament. And for those that aren't aware of what you kind of wear when you play pond hockey, you don't really need hockey pants. You don't need the big, because, especially with boxes, people aren't shooting at your stomach or at your chest. So you don't really need to wear hockey pants nor shoulder guards or shoulder pads. So I didn't pack those when I left, and I forgot to put them back in my bag. So when I showed up to the rink, I literally, as I told you, I walk into the locker room and I see guys putting their hockey pants on. And that was instantly when I realized, I'm like, oh no, I don't think I packed them. And I sat my bag down, popped it open. Yep. No pants, no shoulder pads. I'm like, and the refs even told me, as long as I have hockey pants on, like roller pants, that they would have let me play if I just found some shoulder pads. Well, one of our bigger teammates loaned me his shoulder pads, but I didn't have my roller pants in there either. So I would have had to have gone out and played in just my cup and jock. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Just not meant to be.
I think you made the right call.
I agree. It would have looked very stupid. And somebody probably would have pantsed me at some point. That would not have been good. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the biggest blunders I've had is playing hockey. So hopefully none of you ever do that. I always check my bag like 5 times before I leave too, but I was in such a rush last night. Ugh, such an idiot. Let's talk about other people so we can stop talking about that. Real quick, I wanted to ask you about the Tom Wilson fight. So he got in that that fight against the French player Pierre Crenol. And then Crenol was suspended from the rest of the Olympics by the French Ice Hockey Federation. That turned out to be only one more game because they said that basically it was not in the Olympic spirit. So I've seen some people say that Canada should have done that with Tom Wilson as well. Before I respond to that, Bill, do you have a take on that?
I didn't watch that game. I saw some stuff on the socials about it, and yeah, the Olympics is that whole against the Olympic spirit, right? There is a little too much stuffiness in the whole thing. And to me, that's, I don't know, it fits somewhere in the same thing with, disqualifying the Ukrainian skeleton guy because he had a tribute to the fallen dead from their war, right? You can't, there's this really stuffy definition of the Olympic spirit. And, I don't know. I think I'm more of a hockey guy than an Olympic guy. So if a fight's going to happen, a fight's going to happen. I'm with you. Obviously fighting's part of hockey, but I will say for people who are saying that Wilson should have been suspended by the Canadian team, I disagree because if you watch the play, Wilson didn't want to fight. He actually didn't want to, but Crennan just kept coming at him. And I think he was like, okay, fine. Like, you want to be a douchebag? I will take you down. And I do think he ended up losing the fight, but still, I thought, I don't blame Tom Wilson for that. If a guy's coming at you, swinging at you, trying to fight you, you've got to defend yourself, and especially on the hockey rink. So I do not mind what Wilson did one bit. And I also don't have a problem with what the French Ice Hockey Federation did either. I think if they feel that was egregious and they didn't want to see that, good for them. Make the suspension. That's fine. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the fact that, there was a fight, okay, it's a suspension in the game anyway. That's it. That's all you need to do. But it's obviously a judgment call by the French Federation, and they felt that was out of bounds. So that's fine. But yeah, for people to claim that Wilson needed a suspension too, I think that's completely blasphemous. No, that the only way that happens is if the either the IIHF or the Olympic committee says that you're automatically kicked out of the rest of the tournament if you fight, right? It's if teams are going to have their own, if nations are going to have their own code of conduct and players don't live up to it, as long as they're aware that that exists going into it and they know that fighting is putting themselves at risk, fine, so be it. But it's hockey. Fights are going to happen.
Yep. And Joe Schmo, I did hear this as well. Apparently that guy has a history in the French league. Yeah. Apparently he was a controversial pick for the French team, but I get why they thought, probably need to get an agitator in there if we have any chance of winning any of these games. So, but yeah, I agree. I don't think Wilson deserved anything more than what he got. I wanted to ask you, Bill, regarding the U.S. team. So Jeremy Swayman played in the second game. Yep, you knew where I was going with this. And he did allow a goal from the red line in a 6-3 win versus Denmark. If you watch the play, if you don't know any context, it looks like a horrible goal. Somebody said, well, it went off someone's knee in the neutral zone. And I'm like, I don't care. You should be able to pick the puck up in that time when it's coming through your zone. But I will say, for me, looking at the sight lines, they had a bottom row on the boards that was black. And a lot of players apparently complained when the puck went into the boards, we lost it. We couldn't see it.
Yeah, and they changed it.
They changed it for the rounds today, and I think yesterday as well. So, excuse me, it's now yellow, I believe. Correct?
I didn't
Yellow or
notice,
blue.
But, yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, they were black. And so for Swayman, I think he had an issue picking that puck up. What was your take on that goal?
Yeah, so another thing that pimping the Ingle Radio podcast, they talked about a lot about Binnington's ability to play the puck and not be intimidated by the environment. So the Olympic, like the corners there are much different, and a lot of goalies were not comfortable going out and trying to play the puck because of weird bounces. And so I think Swayman, that's the first thing in his mind. Don't go chase the puck. But then, oh shit, that didn't get rimmed around. I don't see where it is. And the goalie's instinct is to drop and cover as much of the lower part of the net. I mean, for that puck to pick the corner like it did, that as soon as he lost sight of the puck, and I'm pretty sure, like, to me, I said he lost sight. The first time I saw it, I was like, he just didn't see that, right?
Mhm.
And as soon as you do that, you're going to drop and try to cover the lower portion, because who's going to snipe you from center ice, right?
Yeah, right.
Who's this guy? I've probably never heard this guy's name before. Yeah, it was not at that point you knew that it wasn't going to be Swayman in any of the games that matter, because that there's already that talk, right? That anybody that falters is not going to get an important game. At the end of the day, I can't blame him for it. Unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I thought the same thing when I first, because I wasn't watching the game live. I was I think we were playing at that time actually, and so I didn't watch it live, but instantly I got my phone started just blowing up. Swayman, he can't play another minute, right? Like, you can't let this guy play after that. And I thought, oh boy, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh no, Jeremy, because I like Jeremy Swayman. But then when I kind of figured out the context, I'm like, well, because they showed the behind the net view, and I'm like, I kind of lost it in the black, know? So I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. And it's unfortunate it happened to him. But at the same time, there is that aspect of you're a professional, figure it out. But at the same time, I get it. And again, it's not like it happened. I mean, if that's the game-winning goal and it knocks the U.S. out of contention for first, yeah, more scrutiny for sure. But they won that game 6-3. They end up taking the pool. It's a nothing play at this point. But I did think, I was like, oh, I do feel bad for Jeremy Swayman after that.
Yeah. Hey, it's no Roman Turek.
No.
It's no Dan Cloutier, who gave up a couple of those in his career. One of my least favorite goalies of all time. Dan
Me
Cloutier.
too. I didn't know that about you. That's why I love you, Bill. I've always said that for some reason, I just don't like bad goalies. So, like, there could be a goalie on the other team, a team that I hate, but if you suck, I don't like you. You don't belong here. Get out. And so, like, Dan Cloutier, I never understood why teams kept giving him a job every season. I'm like, this guy, what has he proven that he belongs here? So, thank you. You made me feel good about myself that that I don't like Dan Cloutier.
He came to represent too much of what, like, I loved the early 2000s Canucks until the Steve Moore incident. And after that, it was like, everything about that team needed to be blown up. And, he was the goalie. So, and he, to me, he held that team back. But not that I'm a huge Canucks fan or anything, but at that point, God, they were my other favorite team in the West.
So again, talking about the games today. So we've got Sweden and the U.S. That was a big game, obviously 2-1 overtime win for the Team USA. This was an interesting game in the sense of you just felt like USA needed a big goal, right? Like they went up 1-0 off the beautiful goal from Dylan Larkin, and you were just like, man, they need one more. And all I kept thinking was they are going to lose this game 2-1, which almost happened. And they are going to lose it. And it's like, what if Jason Robertson, Lade Hudson, and Cole Caulfield, what if those guys were on the roster? 3 guys who are known, especially Robertson, for scoring big goals in big moments. And I thought, oh man, that has got to be the end of Bill Guerin being the GM of Team USA if that happens, right? And it was funny because you texted me the exact same thing I was thinking after the game ended. You were like, hey, so like, man, how crazy how long we have lamented tonight if they would have lost 2-1 because they couldn't get a big goal. And I'm like, exactly. I already had a tweet ready.
Right. We were this would have gone, we're on an hour and a half now. We would be like, it would be like, I don't know if you were raised Catholic or have ever been through anything. It's like the was it the Good Friday Mass, or maybe it's the Saturday Mass that just will not stop, right? That would have been us. Like, and now we have to go back and talk about how Cole Caulfield would have been the difference maker.
Yep. There would have been nobody in the live chat. It would have just been me and you going until 3 a.m. Like, oh, imagine if Jason Robertson was on this team.
Right. Ken Morris wakes up and rejoins, right?
Yeah.
We're still going.
He's getting up to go out and let his dog out, and he's like, oh my God, the guys are still on. What the heck?
Man, they really hate Bill Guerin. No, that it totally felt that way, right? The that Sweden was going to wind up coming out on top in the end of this game, especially when it went to overtime, right? Yep. The game tying goal. I mean, Zibanejad, just you cannot leave him open for that one timer. But the pass, oh my God, the pass, Lucas Raymond. Just no look to the entire U.S. defense and set him up. And I, like I said, I thought Markstrom was probably the better goalie for the balance of this game. And Hellebuck made the saves when he needed to. And that was a pretty damn good shot. I'm not going to fault Hellebuck on that at all.
No. So what are your thoughts? Hellebuck. I'll admit, I mean, he played well today. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, come on, we've seen this already. Like, can we please go with Ottinger?
Yeah, no, I don't think because Ottinger hasn't been able to, not that Hellebuck's been able to deliver. He kind of exercised his first round demons against the Blues last year, unfortunately. But I get the feel that Ottinger there's not trust there either.
Yeah.
So
probably not.
Yeah, I think if it comes down to it, the matchup that everybody in North America wants in the final, it's going to be Binnington versus Hellebuck rematch.
Great. Hey, you know what though? I would, as much as I don't want it to happen, I would love to see Slovakia right there. I'll say this, if they do beat the US, it will be hard for me to root against Slovakia against Canada, even though I actually have money on Canada and I love Team Canada and I want to see Binnington and Parayko win. It'd be like, man, seeing Dvorsky, figure that out. I mean, that would be incredible to witness.
Yeah, it would be, but again, from the goalie perspective, at this point, they have the weakest link in the goaltending competition with Lavai. Although go back to that opening game for Slovakia, and he stole it, right?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yep. So tomorrow, or not tomorrow, well, tomorrow is the gold medal game for the U.S. and Canada, which we'll talk about in a second for very briefly. But Friday, games start back up in the men's tournament. Canada and Finland are playing at 9:40 Central Daylight Time. Obviously, that's in the morning. And then United States and Slovakia at 2:10 will be the big game for, I know, Americans to watch. So hopefully we'll get another Canada-U.S. final. But if not, we're at least getting that tomorrow in the women's game. So that is very exciting. And again, U.S. Canada, I mean, they were saying it on the broadcast today, and I completely agree. Women's hockey, U.S. versus Canada, to me, rivals Boston, Montreal, Yankees and Red Sox. I mean, this is up there in those bitter rivalries. Even though a lot of these ladies play together, normally, this is a bitter rivalry, and seeing these games when they play in the gold medal, it's, oh my God, it's must-see TV. So definitely check it out tomorrow. They start at, I believe, 12:10 tomorrow. Is that right?
I believe that's so. And unfortunately, my afternoon is going to suck tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Actually, so I've got to go to a funeral tomorrow, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, you're in much worse shape than I then. So, no, it's in just thinking of Friday. We have a vet appointment when probably that game is going to be ending. So damn it. If only I had the foresight.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you don't. It's funny because I remember back when I was in my 20s, and they were in the, gosh, that would have been like when they were in Vancouver. I remember literally looking up times for games and requesting off from work, when I was working evenings, and just being like, oh, can't work at this point. Oh, guys, don't plan on anything happening on Saturday because I'll be doing this. Like, I remember literally scheduling out to where I could just be home and watch the games. But obviously, as you get older, that becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah. More responsibility, or that's and neither of us are boss enough to set our own schedules, and
no, we're not.
Put that fake meeting on the calendar that no one will question.
Oh,
what is this meeting?
Move. That is my move. I love that. So I actually had a buddy at my last job that we would schedule the meeting together. So it'd be like, oh yeah, Ben's in that meeting with me. And they'd be like, oh, okay. It was like, yeah, we're just scheduling that time off so he can go to the gym and I can go do whatever I'm doing. So gotta love
that's brilliant. But yeah, not something that I would ever, in this current environment, my workplace would ever try to risk. So
yeah,
I'll sneak in 5 minutes of a game while I'm grabbing a coffee.
I'm going to do my best. So I'll warn you of this. So don't text me. I'm going to do my best to watch it tomorrow night without knowing the final. So yeah, if you find it out,
no spoilers. No spoilers. Yeah. That's gentlemen's
and keep
agreement.
that in mind, all you listeners too. If don't be tweeting me or Facebooking me and saying, oh, what a final to that women's game. Yeah, I'm not going to know until probably about 7 or 8 o'clock. So it's going to be my goal. So it is 12:10 tomorrow. So definitely check that game out, folks, if you can. Obviously, they'll have replays up as well. Also want to say one more thing. Nick Saracino for Team Italy. 3 games played, did not score a point, was a -3. But congratulations to Nick. That is very cool that he got to go overseas and play for Team Italy as a dual citizen. Didn't notice him much in the games I saw, not going to lie. But again, when you're getting barnstormed by the Canadians, it's kind of hard to notice players on the other team.
Yeah, I noticed him. He had one great opportunity. I forget which game it was, but he cut across the crease, got a rebound, and he was a little too bar. Like he was moving right to left, and he got a little too far left before he got the shot off, and it was a fairly easy save. But great instinct to crash the net.
Yep, agree. And then Joe Schmo in the chat. You got some of your secrets, Joe, because I never can avoid spoilers. He says, I'm almost 100% replay watcher, perpetually avoiding spoilers. Yeah, I think my biggest problem is I'm in like 3 different hockey groups of guys that I play hockey with that will just randomly text, I'll get the text. I won't even be thinking about it, and I'll get a text like, what an overtime win by the Blues. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. So it's just, I'm going to have to do my best to avoid my phone tomorrow while I'm away from my TV.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll go ahead and say next up for the Blues. Well, actually, we mentioned the Olympic schedule, but so yeah, let's go ahead and get back into that. So again, you've got the preliminary rounds continuing. The Olympic website is awful. Let's see.
I've been going just to the Athletic to get mine.
That's probably the best way to do it. I keep going to the stupid Olympic site, and it's awful.
Don't give them your traffic.
I know. So Friday again, Canada, Finland play at 9:40, and then United States and Slovakia at 2:10, and those are Central Daylight Time. Saturday will be the bronze medal game. That'll be at 1:40 because they've got it listed in military time. I'm trying to convert. Yes, that is 1:40 men's bronze medal game. And then on Sunday will be at 7:10. Oh, God, 7:10 a.m. Oh, I got a trivia night Saturday night. Oh, that's going to be rough.
Fucking, I think Liverpool play really early on Sunday. So,
gonna be tough.
Well, that I'll watch that on the replay.
I'm going to probably have to get up and watch it live because I will not be able to avoid spoilers. So I'll probably be very hungover watching on Sunday. They play at 7:10 a.m. the men's gold medal game. And of course, do not miss tomorrow either at 12:10 the women's game. If you've never watched women's hockey, this is the game to watch. This is the best of the best, and it is high flying. It is drama after drama, and just obviously top end skill. So definitely check that out if you've never seen a women's game.
Yeah. So I haven't seen any of the Canadian games, but I did catch a couple of the American games. Potential for a goalie rematch from the game that we went to last year, the PWHL takeover.
That's right.
Aaron Frankel versus Emmerin Smashmeyer.
Yep. Which both played brilliant in that game. And I've seen a little bit from Frankel this year, and she's been phenomenal. So
yeah,
looking forward to
Vancouver Goldeneye.
Yeah, right. And then we'll go ahead and say next up for the Blues. And Joe Schmo, you know what? Here you go. You get comment of the show, sir.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Women's hockey is getting more and more physical. Yes, it is. And I love that. I love all about it. There's times you see body checking and they call a penalty, and I'm like, oh, come on, just let them go. But I get it. But at the same time, it is getting more physical, and I love that. So we'll go ahead and say next up for the Blues, Thursday, February 26th versus Seattle, and then Saturday, the 28th against the Devils, and then Sunday, March 1st, they will play the Minnesota Wild at 4 o'clock. We will have a show before those games start. I would imagine we'll have a show Wednesday, so a week from tonight. But I don't know, Bill. We'll see how we're feeling. Might do a show Monday or Tuesday, and we can talk about the gold medal game. I don't know. We'll see. But stay tuned to us on social media, and we will announce that.
Yes, with a week off from our men's league games, probably I'm gonna say Tuesday might be the night. It's Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday is my actual birthday, and
that's right.
I will. We will be doing something. And
cool.
So
all right. So plan on that, folks. Let's say Tuesday. That'll be the 24th of February. So that's probably going to be our next show. Bill, so we will have a show before your birthday, so we will.
Right.
I will not wish you a happy birthday yet. You
Yes.
don't get that privilege yet.
Please don't.
And as I said at the start of the show, we will have a big announcement next week. I don't know if you caught that, Bill, but you know what this announcement is. We will do it next week. So we'll talk about how we want to handle that, but definitely tune in next week, and you will get some news on Let's Go Blues Radio. Bill, anything else to add tonight?
No. Other than we still have to figure out this short show thing.
Yeah, we both said short show because I was exhausted too. I didn't sleep well last night, and I know you didn't either. And I was like, oh, we'll do like an hour. And here we are, 1:35. We just hit the 1:35 mark. So
yeah,
we're terrible at this.
Well, I'm probably, as soon as we're done, I could fall asleep right where I'm sitting. So that may.
So you may be passed out by the time the end credits roll. So
yes,
I'll be watching you on camera.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to add, sir?
No, sir.
And Bake Beaver says, have a good one, y'all. Let's go Blues. Yep. Let's go Team USA and Team Canada. I'm literally rooting for both. So hopefully I don't get my heart broken by both of them.
Right. If we're on here Tuesday talking about a Slovakia Finland final, yeah,
that'll be weird. I mean, we'll be talking about Dvorsky, which will be cool, but to not have either US or Canada, that would really suck.
Right. Although a US versus Canada bronze medal game probably means there are a lot of pissed off players. Could be a penalty parade.
That is actually a good point. That would be interesting to see. And Joe Schmo says, let's go US women. And I think you mean all US women, not just the hockey players, right? Like all US women, let's go. But no, seriously, in all honesty, let's go US women. Let's get another gold medal because that is, God, such a fun rivalry. I'm not going to be able to watch it live. So hopefully I don't get spoilers. All right. Thanks to our incredible sponsor, StrikeWithMike.com. That'll wrap up episode 20 of season 15 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show. Make sure to follow us on socials at LGB Radio and follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. For Kurt Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues, let's go USA, women and men, and bobsled team. Sure, you guys too.
Let's go curlers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
TV talking St. Louis Blues hockey, moving fast, can't catch the beat. Skates on fire, ice on defeat.